Hey everyone, it's TV dinner time. Kick your shoes off, get comfy. Today we're actually not talking about the boys 7 and 8. Sorry,
We
Jason.
will soon.
Uh, we're talking about the Bears season 3, the whole season,
Yeah.
episodes 1 through 10. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, we decided to kind of like since we were waiting around for the boys episode 7 and 8 to kind of come out, we were like, we'll fill in some time, watch something different, and it's almost like a palate cleanser, so to speak, right?
Yeah, nice little break from the chaos of the boys.
Yeah. Even though it's like I was telling someone earlier today, it's like I watched The Bear, and it's like if you're not ready to process your own emotions, I don't think you should be watching The Bear.
Yeah, there's something, this, like the way this is shot is beautiful, but the way it's shot is very 2024. Like I don't think this show would be
Mm,
shot the same way if it came out even 10 years ago. Like there's a lot of quick cuts and close-ups and angle changes and zooms. It's very like fast paced. Even though it's a cooking show, like you don't always cook quickly, but this
mm,
show still finds a way to show you the emotions, show you the process of cooking, keep you enthralled in the story, and throw in a monkey wrench here and there.
yeah, and you're like, what? I'm
What
gonna
just
cry
happened?
now. It's like all
Yeah.
of my emotions are coming out of me now.
And I like that there's flashbacks, but they're not like, it's not in your face. Like, hey, this is a flashback. It takes you a second to kind of realize, like, oh, this is the past. Like
Yeah,
this season, especially, it didn't seem like they did that very much in the previous seasons.
yeah, I agree with you. Where it's like this one, yeah, you're almost like halfway through the episode. You're like, oh, this is like not just
This is the
like a couple of
past.
days ago. This is like,
Yeah.
yeah, or this is that you're almost kind of like confused by the timeline
Yeah.
until you get some like highlights of like, oh, like they're going to a funeral for Marcus's mom. Okay, so this is
Hmm.
after the death of his mom. So technically after season 2, but there's still stuff that's like way before season 1, and you're like,
Yeah.
what am I watching?
Like watching
Uh,
Carmi going through his chef process of like going to different chefs and learning from them and
mm,
building his repertoire.
yeah, or even the lady that like loses her job and spends
Yeah.
like days on days trying to find a new job, and then stumbles upon this Italian beef place.
So
Like,
the
can't
one
cry.
thing, like, there's so many things I love about the show, but one of them is the fact that there's big name actors and you never would know they're in the show until you watch the episode.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because it's like, how do you sell these big name actors on things that like, hey, you're going to show up for like 5 minutes in the show.
Yeah. Like
It's
Joel
a day's
McHale, we
worth.
saw like early on in like season 1, season 2. And it's like, wow, they got Joel McHale to be on here for like 2 second
Yeah,
cameo and he's a dick. And then this season was finally when there was an interaction, like a longer interaction with him. It was like, okay,
but yeah, in like the last episode, but then all
yeah.
those like times that they showed him in season 3, it's all like flashbacks. So that's probably reused
Hmm.
stuff. But like, yeah, there's a long interaction at the end where Carmi's able to like tell him what he sort of
Yeah,
he
sort
kind
of.
of he alludes to it that he's very angry, but I guess that's like that was very realistic. But the way I take this film, I kind of got a sense of the Safdie brothers, of
Mm,
how they did Uncut Gems, Good Times and stuff, because
yeah,
it
it's
the
fast
chaos,
pace.
fast
Yeah,
pace, it's in your face, because I
but it's
believe
emotional.
the closeness of how the camera is, especially in when Sugar is going through labor and
Yeah,
Jamie Lee
I
Curtis
actually
is
hated
there.
that episode.
You did. It was very awkward.
Yeah,
Did you hate it because it was a lot to take in, or was it?
it was the. I can't. Hate is a strong word.
Mm,
I I think it was the chaos of it because you're like, which is a testament to the show.
mm,
So you're watching it and you're like, yo, just get her to the hospital. these doctors need to help her. Help her. And you're like, I can't jump through the screen and help it myself. Like, they
Yeah.
got to speed this up to help this woman. So that's a testament to the show that it's able to bring out emotions within you as you're watching it. Like, oh, I want to help this person, and you can't.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the closeness of each of the shots, and
Yeah.
also the performances that they were able to get out of these people.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Lee Curtis makes you like Patty next to me. She was like, "Oh, she's an unhinged mom and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's playing an unhinged. Like she looks it too. Like her makeup is like kind of like all
Disheveled.
over the place and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Like she just looks like someone that's embodying." A kind of like mom that's like her. And
Manic
you know,
mom.
Jamie
Yeah.
Lee Curtis is not like that in normal life. So it's like the
Yeah.
performance that she's putting out. There's other things too. There's other
But she
places or
plays that in like a decent, like she kind of like that in Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan. And in
true.
Halloween, she's kind of chaotic, but nothing like this. Like, this
Nothing
takes the
like
cake.
this. But I'm surprised where it's like it almost kind of goes to your comment of like, how do you get these like big name actors to
Mm-hmm.
show up for like 5 minutes? But like, how do you convey to these like big name actors like, all right, here's the emotion and
Yeah.
just run with it and stuff. And it's like, what? There's chaos and
Yeah.
you're feeling that emotion, you're chaotic and stuff. And I think that's what makes it interesting, but also can be very hard to watch sometimes.
Well, I wonder how the shooting schedule is figured out for this show, because of the amount of clips they probably reuse. Like, hey, we got shots with Joel McHale and Carmi interacting. We got that for season 1. We can also use that for season 3 and 4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's filling in those little pockets of like, hey, we have this person for 2 hours. Let's get as much as we can and then figure out how we're going to implement it. I wonder if that's how they schedule it, or if they have all of these seasons already figured out, because they're pumping these out.
Yeah,
Like
these
most
come out actually
shows,
pretty quick. Yeah.
yeah, most shows wouldn't be this far in. Yeah, The Bear's been out for probably 3 years, but most shows seem like they would only be at season 2 at this point. Like
Yeah.
Severance is coming out with season 2, I think later this year, and we got season 1
2 or
3
3
years
years
ago.
ago. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we're talking about like ending The Boys season 4 soon, and that's going to be like
yeah.
another year or two until the next season comes out.
So
So,
they, not to derail to The Boys, but they
mm,
actually announced that the last season is going to be in, I believe, 2026 or 2025. I want to say
Jesus.
2026.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
forget about it. So,
season 4 is not the last. No, I mean like the final season. Sorry, the
yeah.
final season is that year.
Okay,
So we
okay.
still probably have another season or 2.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. But with the Bear, I liked this season where we got more backstory of like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the underlying characters.
Yeah.
We still got Carmi. I think my biggest gripe with this whole season is that Carmi's character is like a douchebag and like is literally just recreating Joel McHale like chef area in his own, like I think that's what he's most pissed about, is that that's what
Yeah. He's
caused him to
becoming him.
create that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I
so
think that's what he
you're
knows.
angry.
I think he had to get to that. And I think we saw that in this season, is him getting to the breaking point, him kind of replaying life, figuring out, okay, these are the things I like about myself or like about my life. These are the things I dislike. And a lot of things that he dislikes, aka Joel McHale, he was actually doing or is doing. So
Yeah.
now he has to unlearn that and figure out who he is as a chef, who he is as a person, figure out if he's going to get back into the relationship or try to get back into it, and then figure out the restaurant. Because a new menu every day is insane.
Yeah, and I think that hit it home. Like you saw it a lot if you paid attention to, if anybody's watching it, paying attention to like the conversations that all the individual chefs were having at the table during
Mm-hmm.
that funeral dinner, where it's like confirming Carmi is kind of someone that is not emulating those conversations, or is emulating those bad conversations where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
someone didn't give me respect during that moment, or someone didn't do this and stuff. But again, you see during that whole conversation, he's not paying attention. He's
He's
looking
off
at
in his
Joel
own world.
McHale, and so it's like, all
Hmm.
right, you're not learning from this, like, these conversations.
Yeah. He's just an angry dude. I think, and I hope season 4 is when he fixes that. Is when he's like, okay, that is not the person I want to be. I need to become my own man. Let's move forward.
The way it ended, and it kind of ends with a
Freaking
cliffhanger, basically.
cliffhanger, which is bullshit.
I kind of didn't like that either. Where it was like, all right, well, we could have ended it where, like, um, what's the other head chef's name?
I always forget that lady's name. I know her name is Io in real
Yeah,
life, but
uh,
terrible. I need to start putting that in my notes, like who these characters' names are, because terrible at it.
but I think it would have been better. It would have been kind of like a little bit more closure with the cliffhanger or something if we would have had her
Sydney.
Sid. I was thinking he calls her Sid.
Yeah.
That, like, she would have said, like, maybe it ends like almost like those, like, horrible endings where it's like, I'm taking another job, and it just, like,
Yeah.
hits the black, because you
I would have been
expect
cool with
that.
that.
Yeah, I would have been
Yeah.
fine with that.
Because right now it feels like, oh, she may stay.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she said she took the job, it feels, and especially with the cliffhanger, it feels like, oh yeah, she may stay. She may figure out like, oh no, this is the environment I need to be in. As chaotic as it is, I should stay to help him. Instead of her looking out for herself, she may stay. Oh, I need to stay to help Carmi.
But then I wonder if she makes the decision to say, like, "Oh, I'm staying," but then Ankh is basically destitute and, like, out of money. So then he's gonna, like, where are they gonna get money?
Yeah. Start hawking them sandwiches again.
I, I talking about Ankh. I was like, man, I have to, like, start, like, I have to, like, get people to call me Computer. I want, like, a cool, like, name like
That is a cool
that.
last name, though. I'm not gonna call you Computer. That's why I made that face. But that is a cool last name.
I'm gonna start carrying around a calculator and stuff, and, like, all right, call me Computer, guys.
No, he's got to get a name tag that says Computer.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you see that as the biggest downside? Is the cliffhanger ending? It seems
Yeah, I was
so,
pissed.
like, stereotypical, or like old, like, to end with a
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
because like so with them ending it at a cliffhanger, I was hoping that meant we were gonna get more episodes sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, hey, we got a cliffhanger, so we just have to wait a few months. That's the hopes, but the fact that we don't know when we're getting more episodes and it's just a cliffhanger is kind of like, damn, we have to wait a year possibly.
Yeah, and it's like the literal cliffhanger, but like, oh, to be continued. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
it's like really.
thanks. Like, yeah, like, you could have done a little bit
I
better than that.
spent 10 hours watching this show, and that's what you give me.
But I like how this show over the last 3 seasons continues to tell the same story,
Mm-hmm.
but introduces more of the characters. Like it's not, you're not introducing new characters. It's, you're telling more of the story. Like, we got more of the facts.
Yeah, it's
Maddie
world building.
Matheson is more present during these
Yeah,
scenes, and you love them. It's like, I would love to have someone like Maddie, like, around all the
not working
time.
with you wouldn't want that as your coworker.
Nah, that's
As a
hilarious.
friend, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's hilarious, but it'll get
Yeah,
old pretty soon.
you'd be like, "Come on, dude, again."
But yeah, you it is like you said, world building and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
a very slow world building, but it pays off fairly well because you get more of that.
Do you consider this? I guess the better. Let me rewrite it before I even say it. What has been your favorite season so far?
Honestly, I think the first one's very hard to take in, but the chaoticness and
Mm-hmm.
him trying to deal with the fact that, like, oh, I have to run this restaurant
Now my
when,
brother's gone.
yeah, the brother's gone, and I'm not it was more him trying to learn that, like, okay, he can be a short order cook, or
Hmm.
but then begin to like change it into a
Implement.
fine dining type of deal.
Yeah.
um I don't know, what would you say?
I think I want to say two. I want to say two. I think for me, it's more there's specific episodes that I truly enjoyed in each season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say two for a full season, but there's an episode in each season that I just love. And it's the dinner party or
Oh
the
man,
Thanksgiving
yeah, that was
in season
crazy.
two. That long tracking shot episode in season one. I think it was like 17 minutes, but it
Yeah, it's like
felt
an
like
like
one
a short
continuous.
short.
And then this one, I think it wasn't episode one. Was it episode four when they're showing Carmi's backstory of him at each restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good shots within this show
Yeah.
too. Like cinematography, there's a lot of good use of like, you notice blue is used for like some of the somber,
Mm-hmm.
like especially like when he's trying to like think about calling uh the girl back. He's in that freezer and it's blue. There's a lot of like shadows to him and everything. But there was another shot where it was that split shot where it's the front of the house and the back of the house,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was a very
yeah,
nice
that was a
shot and
nice
stuff.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good to this, and it's like it's very shocking that a show can add so much character, so much story into like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a 17-minute episode, like you said, like that short, but it like you're on a roller coaster.
Yes, yes, and you're right there, and that it goes back to what you were saying that the lenses that are used,
Mm.
being that close and like uncomfortable with the character adds to the tension of what's getting played out.
I'm assuming, yeah, the lenses are helping with that, but I'm assuming in the shooting of this, it's fairly uncomfortable, right? Because like,
Oh yeah, there's in a freaking kitchen.
yeah, you're like I'm assuming to have that conveyed in the acting and in the scene itself, you also would make the area kind of uncomfortable, right? Just to like,
Yeah.
here's the tone that we're kind of going for, not to like abuse these people or like, but like, yeah, just set the tone that like this is gonna be like we're real close up and everything and all this. But yeah, I hope we do get a season 4 like soon and everything,
Mm.
so that you can kind of
Or even a
close that
season three
book.
and a half.
Yeah,
Even a season
right.
3.5. Like I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because how many episodes? I guess yeah. There's only been 10 episodes in each season, right?
Yeah, there'd been 10 episodes for
Okay.
each season.
So yeah, I guess we are getting to season 4 eventually. Hopefully it's not a freaking year. Don't give us a cliffhanger and do that.
Yeah, they should be pumping these out pretty.
They have been, so yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White is not going to look that good for that long. So just
Nah, he's
start
still on
shooting these things before he gets
his
fat.
Iron Claw diet. He's good, man. Come on. Still doing the Iron Claw workouts.
Yeah, probably. But I definitely do still recommend this show to people.
Yeah. Everybody should watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier and I was like, I think anybody should watch this, and it's enjoyable. It makes you want to cook, or it
Yeah.
makes you just want to have food and stuff, and like really good food and stuff. And so it's something
I
that
want to
like
try one of the sandwiches.
I actually kind of want to make the bread for myself or sometime, and then try to
Mm.
make the sandwich for myself.
I just want to go there and try the sandwich. I don't want to make the bread and all that. I'll leave that to
No,
you.
I wanna. I'll practice it, and we'll do some Italian sandwiches or hot
Send me some
Italian.
bread.
Yeah, well, in a couple of months, I can send you some bread in the mail.
Just moldy by the time I
Yeah. But yeah, so let us know if you've watched The Bears season 3 all the way through. If you liked it, disliked it, was this What'd you think about the cliffhanger? Did you also hate it like us and everything, and want more the bear and and do you also want to be called computer? But huh?
Oh, actually, before we end it, I know you just ran through the outro, but in episode 9, I was scrolling through my notes. The beginning of episode 9 confused the hell out of me. It was like an art piece. Like they had clips.
Oh, what Scorsese kind of like
Yeah,
talking over something? It was the magic thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That I didn't think that was the episode. Like I thought it was an ad for a bit. Like
thought so too.
I had it on. Oh, because it just played right through, and I was like, oh, I must have clicked the wrong thing, or just magically clicked the wrong thing. Like what the hell is this? So I think I fast forwarded a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is the episode. I got to go back and watch this. Like what the hell?
I know. I'm watching this on Disney Plus, and I was like, "Fucking
Mm-hmm.
Disney! Did they change my show?"
Yes, yes. I was like, wait, what? Oh, I think that's what I did. I was watching it on Disney Plus, and that came on. I was like, what the hell is wrong? So I went online to make sure, like, is this right? And it was right. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that part is very confusing. Where it's like you hear Scorsese, you were like looking at Houdini and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah. But yeah, let us know if you liked it, disliked it in the comments below, and please like and subscribe to Saturday Night Popcorn for more TV dinners like these.